Hey, good morning, everyone. It's Incident Meteorologist Andy Gorelow coming to you with your Calf Canyon Hermit's Peak fire update. And we'll go ahead and get started. Well, we have seen a couple of dry days. These have been very good for the fire. Precipitation has been very limited. We had one little isolated thunderstorm kind of roll up through the north zone yesterday, but produced very little rain. So it's been nice. The crews have been able to get a lot of work done. And we're going to look at just some isolated thunderstorms again this afternoon. So just looking at the morning satellite imagery here, just showing you the visible satellite. This is what it looks like from 22,000 miles up in space. As you can see, still partly cloudy skies out there. But as we go into this afternoon, we're going to start seeing those cumulus clouds, those little puffy cotton ball clouds form again. And we will continue to see at least a slight chance of thunderstorms this afternoon. Some of which could produce heavy rain, but we're not looking for anything widespread as we go through today. So it's excellent for the crews to get a lot of work done. We'll go to the next slide. So just showing you, this is our water vapor image, and it just shows you really how much moisture is in the atmosphere. Anywhere that you see these blues and light blues, that's typically where your deeper moisture is located. And as you can see, it's just basically funneling up right through central New Mexico from the southwest to northeast. And just showing you we have a lot of moisture still in the atmosphere, enough to generate those isolated afternoon thunderstorms. But as you can see, going into southern Nevada and western Arizona and back east into Texas, the air's a little bit more is drier, but we are definitely underneath that little moisture plume that will continue to feed us higher humidities and those chances of afternoon thunderstorms. Next slide. So just going into the weather map for today, not much going on. Just with that available moisture, we're just looking at a general rain thunderstorm chance. Right where that black arrow is pointing to is the Hermit's Peak Calf Canyon fire. And as you can see, we're kind of right on the edge. Really not expecting too much, but we cannot rule out at least an isolated thunderstorm this afternoon. The one thing we will be watching is this cold front that's draped up across northern Nevada into southeast Idaho and across Wyoming. That's something we're going to be watching over the next 24 hours as it continues to sag southward. That's going to bring some significant changes to our weather. And looking at tomorrow's weather map, you can see that cold front across central Nevada through Utah into Colorado, and then spreading off further off to the northeast. But what's going to happen is that long ahead of that cold front, we're going to start seeing more dynamics added to the atmosphere. And with that, we're going to start seeing an increase in thunderstorm activity. And this was actually issued by the Weather Prediction Center, where they believe that the strongest and highest rain rates are going to occur. And we are looking generally at the northeast portion of New Mexico, right where we are located. It's something we're definitely going to be watching, but by tomorrow afternoon, I believe we're going to start seeing more widespread showers and thunderstorms. And some of these could produce very heavy rain, so flash flooding is definitely something we're going to be keeping an eye on. We could see very heavy rain really tomorrow all the way into Tuesday. So something that is definitely kind of going to be watching. This cold front continues to sag south, but really the moisture is not going to leave until maybe sometime next week. So we're going to be in for about 3 days of pretty heavy potential rain, flash flooding that we're going to have to watch for. But starting tomorrow afternoon, we are looking for that flash flood potential increasing. Next slide. So just looking at trends in the future, you can kind of see, here we are today, those lower dew points, those lower RHs, a little bit drier, but not totally dry, not like we've seen in the past, but still some moisture, enough for those afternoon storms. But as we go into Saturday, you can see those dew point temperatures and the relative humidity really increase. That's because we're expecting a lot more moisture to work into the area. And when that happens, adding that cold front into play, we are expected to see more widespread thunderstorms tomorrow afternoon and continuing pretty much all the way into Tuesday. Just looking at the trend, you can see those dew points go up, and they basically stay elevated all the way through the week. So we're not going to be seeing any significant drying here in north central New Mexico. We will have a chance of seeing showers and thunderstorms at least through the end of next week into next weekend. And then just looking at our daily precipitation chart, you can see how it really ramps up over the weekend. Pretty significant amounts. These are 1 hour bars here, just showing you what the models are predicting for rainfall. But Saturday, Sunday, Monday definitely are three potentially wettest days, and like I mentioned, maybe some flash flooding. As we go into Tuesday and all the way through the week, numbers aren't quite as high, but it's still showing at least a chance of afternoon and evening thunderstorms. Definitely something we're to be watching for, but as it stands right now, this monsoon pattern is not going to be changing for the next week. Continuing to see those daily chances of showers and thunderstorms with the major ramp up Saturday through Monday. Next slide. So your thunderstorm threat guidance, you can see just for today, just that slight chance of thunderstorms over the highest peaks, only about 10 to 30% chance. But as we go Saturday through the end of the week, Saturday through Tuesday, you can see that jumps into the high category. Looking at least a 60% chance or greater of seeing heavy rain, thunderstorms, something like I mentioned, we're going to keep an eye on. But Saturday through Tuesday, definitely in the high category for seeing those thunderstorms develop. Next slide. So just our precipitation forecast. Here is today. As you can see, very little amounts, so we're not really expecting too much. There could be some light accumulations, but overall, we're not looking for too much. But as you go into Saturday, you can really see that area ramp up. Those numbers go a lot higher, as we're expecting those thunderstorms to develop, anywhere from 3/4 of an inch to maybe 1.25 inches across northeast New Mexico. So as that cold front kind of sags south, plenty of moisture available, we're definitely going to be looking for increasing rain amounts. And even on Sunday, those numbers actually go up a little bit more. We're going to be seeing pretty decent rain amounts all the way through Sunday and potentially into Monday. So we go into, this is a 1 to 5 day precipitation outlook that goes through Tuesday evening. You can kind of see that we're predicting anywhere from about 2 to 2.5 inches of rain, fairly widespread across the mountain chain here. This is pretty significant rainfall we're looking for, and something we're going to definitely watch. And it's possible some of these thunderstorms could produce even heavier rain, especially if they sit over that same location for an extended period of time. And that's the one difference with this pattern coming up, is the last pattern we had all that rain, but the upper level flow was moving pretty fast. So the storms never really sat over the same location. But with this situation, winds are going to be a little bit lighter. So when storms do develop, they're likely going to stay roughly in the same place and produce very heavy rain in one location. And the next slide. Just looking at our matrix, this is what the firefighters use to determine if it's a good day or a critical burning day. And the more green you see, the better. And that's what we have with monsoon season or the monsoon pattern fully in place here. We continue to see high humidities, not much in the way of wind, high precipitation chances, more cloud cover, and that just reduces any kind of risk for the wildfires to spread. So green is good on this map, and we have lots of green. Next slide. Just looking at a 6 to 10 day outlook. This is issued by the Climate Prediction Center, and so they look for signals in the atmosphere to see what they believe is going to be above or below normal precipitation. And with the active monsoon in place, Four Corners region definitely in that above category, and even stretching into where we're located here in north central New Mexico, leaning in that above category, at least for the next 6 to 10 days. So what they're seeing is nothing really going to change this pattern. We're going to continue to see those isolated afternoon showers and thunderstorms with above normal precipitation likely for the next 6 to 10 days. Moving into the 8 to 14 day outlook, you can kind of see that roughly that same area. We're still in that above normal precipitation category, at least for the next 2 weeks before we really start to see any changes. So that's good news for lots of rain. Just we have to watch out for any kind of flooding associated with these burn scars. Next slide. So this is a monthly outlook for July. What they're looking at is potentially still that active monsoon season through Arizona and western New Mexico, but we're starting to lean into that below normal category just a little bit. We're right on the edge of it, but that doesn't mean it's going to stay dry the whole time. But we're looking at the potential of just below normal precipitation, at least through the month of July. The stronger signal obviously is out in the Central Plains there, but where we're located, kind of leaning towards that below normal category. And the next slide, which takes us from July through September, kind of the same thing. We're right on the edge of that below normal. Doesn't mean we're going to totally dry out, but the chances of us seeing below normal precipitation for those 3 months is increasing. So still active monsoon for Arizona, but slightly below normal is what we're expecting all the way through the summertime. That's it for your weather, and we'll talk to you guys again tomorrow. Thanks.